patients just wake up one day and have very severe COPD?
No, it takes years.
Okay. Is COPD a progressive disease?
It's a progressive incurable disease.
Do you start in the green, the mild, and as time goes on and your disease progresses, move down to severe and very severe?
Probably that's how it happens over a period of years or even decades.
As patients progress from mild to moderate to severe and very severe, how are their symptoms affected?
Patients are very, very unique in that there's a lot of self-denial when you speak to patients. And since the disease is basically a progressive disease and is somewhat insidious in nature, they will progress, but they may not notice the problem until they get to stage 2. Usually at stage 2, they will have shortness of breath. They will have shortness of breath, especially on activity. If they get on to stage 3, they're going to have shortness of breath at rest. Stage 1 is usually characterized mostly by a hacking cough, sometimes by wheezing, which is a musical sound when patients blow out doing the maneuver I just showed you. And they will describe the shortness of breath, usually over a period of time, increasing by basically asking them whether they experience shortness of breath on one flight of stairs, whether they can climb 2 flights of stairs, or they can climb no flights of stairs at all, or whether they walk at the same pace as other people their age. That's how we classify it.
Are all COPD patients losing lung function?
Yes, they do, over a period of time.
In fact, are all of us losing lung function over time?
Well, there is a natural decrement that goes with age, and that's why these predicted values are based on age, height, and sex. And we do see a loss of the FEV1 usually over a period of time in normal individuals. That usually may start at age 35 or 40.
Do smokers and non-smokers lose lung function at the same rate?
No.
Are you prepared to draw and illustrate to the jury the difference in the amount of lung function that people lose each year?
Yes.
Okay. And feel free, if you need more paper, feel free to turn it, or I'll come do it for you if you need.
So on this axis we have the 1 second volume that we talked about, and on this axis we have age. Normally with age, both men and women lose FEV1 on a linear scale similar to this. Smokers, on the other hand, have a sharper decrease. When they stop smoking, not immediately, usually takes a few years, they will then assume the same rate that the non-smokers have. If they continue to smoke, it continues to go down. This is estimated in various pieces of literature as in non-smokers being somewhere in the range of 20 to 40 cc's per year. This is closer to 60. And we'll take a look in a little bit as to what Mr. Hackimer's loss was.
And if the jury has heard sometimes referred to as milliliters, is that the same as cc's in
yes,
this?
I'm sorry. A cubic centimeter is the same as a milliliter.
Okay.
There's 1,000 of each milliliter.
In your experience, how long does it take a patient to progress to stage 3 COPD?
It's variable, but it takes usually greater than 10 years.
And in your experience, how long does it take your patients to progress to stage 4 COPD?
It's somewhat variable, but once they get to stage 3, that progression can happen fairly fast.
Do your patients come in and complain about their COPD symptoms like cough and shortness of breath?
Yes.
Is it something that they are able to perceive and notice?
Yes.
And do those symptoms become more pronounced and easier to perceive as a patient progresses from moderate to severe to very severe?
They do. They have progression. The symptoms usually require less exertion. Symptoms are usually more persistent after the initial development of COPD. And friends and neighbors tell them.